Okay, let's see what kind of trouble I can get myself into. I'm gonna hang on to this top one with a pair of pliers. I gotta hang on tight, and I've got my crescent wrench just on the bottom nut. Okay, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Remember, kind of think about it and turn it the right direction. Okay, once you get it loose, then you can get the rest of it that way, and then unscrew it. Okay, a little water may come out because there might be a little bit up in that pipe going up to the kitchen faucet, but there's not going to be much. See, now if you have your water line, if it's your gate valve, if it's almost turned off and it's dripping a little bit, what you could do is you could take a bucket, and then you can put this into a bucket while you're working on everything. Okay, but we got the water shut off outside. There's a little bit that dripped on there on us, right? Okay, so since I'm right here, and when you're doing it, get yourself a little mat. I use this for everything. It's just like a little garden pad, and it helps when I'm crawling around, or if I'm kneeling down or whatever. I've got goggles on too, because I don't want anything to drop in my face, whatever, you know. I'm going to do the other line. And see, that wasn't very tight. Lots of times they're tighter than that. And that could be why that was dripping from before. See there? There's no pipe dope on these. There's no Teflon tape. Now those are actually designed. These little nylon pipe fittings are designed that you shouldn't have to do anything but tighten that up, because there's a little rubber seal in there and all that. But I find that I always end up putting some Teflon tape on these anyways, just as a little insurance policy when I'm putting it all back together. Okay, so far so good. Okay, I'm holding the camera so I can get it up here. For the next step, you got to get up there and undo your nuts. Now see, this one right here, these are wing nuts, and that's holding the base down, so we've got to loosen that up. Now some of them are single. If they're just single connections, you're going to see something up here. Well, this one has one little small nut up there. We got to unscrew that, and then there's another. Where is it? See, there's another nut there. We've got to loosen that up. So, lots of tricky things. How are we going to get a wrench up there and turn that? You know, I think I might have a tool for that. I had to go down to the store this morning and buy it. And it's this little bugger right here. Let me snap this back on and show that to you real quick. Here's the tool I'm going to use. See, it's got a swivel head on there, and you reach that up in there, and here's the handle to turn it, and you can swivel that, and then you open up this here, see, like that, and one way is right to tighten, one is to loosen. You can swivel that over that way and go the opposite direction. I always forget which is which once I get up there, but I'll figure it out once I get up there. On your back, you push this up there, hold that open, hold your mouth just right, grab it, twist, and voila. Now sometimes this is not going to work all the way, so then you're going to have to use maybe a little pair of pliers or some channel locks or a crescent wrench, anything like that. Here I got some other things, and one way or another I'll get it. Well, I'm doing major surgery here just to get up to that nut. I had to break off the copper ends to the sink faucet, so no return. We've got to make this work. And this was the other piece that went up there, you know, for the pull-out faucet head. And see, I'm going to cut this off so I can pull it up out of the way. And this was a weight that was on there. And I just unscrewed that with 2 little screws. And when you put your next faucet on, make sure if it comes with a weight, you want to put that on, because that kind of helps as you pull the faucet out. You know, the pull out, as you're pushing it back in, the weight kind of helps you kind of push this back in there. So you want to make sure that you get it all pushed in properly down there and it's not hitting any other pipes or that. So what I'm trying to do is pull this out of the way, and I figure I might as well show you that part. And it's got the end, it's got this little end on there, and I can't pull out through there, so I'm just going to cut that off. I'm not using this piece anymore. Got my little cutters here. Goodbye. Now I can get up here and pull this out of here. Okay, now I can get back up there with my wrench. So I got my wrench here, it's all set up. I can reach up in there and grab that small little nut. See, I try to get in there with a little crescent wrench, or this is called a spanner wrench, but I couldn't get up there high enough and turn it sideways because all those pipes were in the way. Might be able to get it with this now, but I'm going to use this, and I'm glad I've got it. It was about $12 at the store. You got to get one of these. This little nut was not going to defeat me. That's what was holding that whole thing up there. Oh, took me forever to get that off. Look at all the tools I tried. Pair of pliers, this plumbing wrench, vice grips, crescent wrench, another crescent wrench, screwdrivers, a small pair of vice grips. What I ended up having to do, because the nut, how small that nut is, my plumbing tool wasn't grabbing it very well, plus it was all stripped and everything. So I grabbed this nut with a pair of channel locks, and I tightened it up there like that. Then, because see, that was up there, I couldn't very well go sideways because I'm hitting the backside of the sinks that were coming down. So I put it up like that. Then I took my plumber's wrench and I put that around that. What do you think about that? And I got it just barely turning a little bit, a couple times, repositioning this. Then I could reach up there with this and loosen it a little bit more, and my pliers, and away I went. So, you know, the hardest part about installing a faucet is removing the old one. Now, before we even worry about pulling this out of the box and everything, I'm going to take a quick breather because I'm sweating and tired and just all out of breath. But the next thing, we're going to clean that off. You can take a putty knife here and clean off this, because chances are this old seal might be silicone down, or this happened to be some sort of paper gasket and then it got stuck there because it got wet and stuff. You got to clean all that off. Take a razor blade and kind of clean that, and we want this all nice and clean. Okay, do a good job now. Oh, that looks all nice and clean there now. See there? A little bit of elbow grease, some cleaner, some razor blades, and you can get it clean. Now here's the other thing we had. Remember, there was a soap dispenser right here. So I loosened up the bottle from underneath, And we're going to get this out of the way. We got to decide what to do with this. Because, as you will remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but here we're getting ready to get into the next phase of the project, and that's to get ready and install this new faucet. And see, the faucet's going to come out of this middle one, and then it came with a nice little soap dispenser. What do you think about that? And actually there's a hole right here in the base plate for this, so we don't really want two soap dispensers next to each other, do we? That's going to look kind of hokey, I think. So we're going to end up disconnecting this one, so I have to get under there and undo the nut there and pull that out, clean that off, and see what to do next, because now there's going to be a hole there. So see, this sink is set up with 4 holes. Actually, we got 6 holes. There's another one for an air gap right here. And then they actually, look at that, they actually drilled another hole here. This is for a water softener that they don't have installed right now. They got to get a filter and redo that. So, I mean, most sinks don't come with this many holes, but you know, if you're ordering a sink, they can drill as many holes as you want. Okay, so let's get to the next step, and then we've got to decide what to do with this hole.